empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan.
Well, folks, welcome back aboard to Realltom Football. It is Saturday, and it's a big game to get us started. It's Manchester City against Spurs to get you started on this Saturday in game week 2. Manchester City against Spurs upcoming.
Time for cities and towns to start dreaming again. Walking in the footsteps of giants. I do not believe my eyes. This is extraordinary. Greatness awaits.
Good morning, everybody, folks, and welcome back aboard here, folks. Once again, folks, then to Realltom Football. My name is Tom, I'll bring you the watch along, folks, this afternoon for Manchester City, who take on Spurs live in the Premier League. If you do are watching on the replay, please do make sure that you are leaving a like on the stream, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And thank you very much indeed, folks, everybody who's joining us here today. And your kickoff is coming your way at 12:30 for this absolute firecracker of a fixture. And what a fixture it was last season, of course, at the Etihad in that 5:30 kickoff where Manchester City were mauled by Spurs at home. It was a 4-0 win for Spurs. How will the Tottenham fare today at the Etihad against the side that they appear to be a bogey for? Well, every single question that you may have about this fixture will be answered today. Within the next 2 hours, we'll get the answer as to have City been able to get over this Spurs problem. I don't think so. And welcome into Kumar. How are you doing, Kumar? Good to see you in here, and welcome aboard to you. 3-1. He's back in for Spurs today. Yeah, I've gone for a 2-1 Spurs win. Unfortunately, I just don't see Manchester City being able to get over this hurdle. I just see Spurs as always a problem for Manchester City. And I just feel like that you can't back City to win this because it's just Spurs just don't lose against City very often. So yeah, for me, the bogey is there. You've got to back Spurs for this, I think. It's going to be a fascinating fixture, as it always is. Obviously, there's no James Maddison, who really was one of the star men in that 5:30 kickoff last season early on. But you've got Realltom, who got, I think, 3 goals in the last 2 games, obviously including the Super Cup. And what a goal that he scored against Burnley as well. He scored an overhead kick. It was there's definitely things there. It's going to be intriguing. So do let us know on the poll who you think is going to win, but also share the channel around with your friends. Hit that subscribe button and leave a like on the stream, folks, please. So do all those things, help the channel out. But yes, the most important one is simply you guys being here and watching us, because obviously we are on track to being a monetized channel, and your views make that happen. So a couple of minutes time, we'll get you through your team news and your match information. But we've got a great Saturday coming your way. After this one, we've got obviously Arsenal against Leeds United later. You can join us at 5:15. It's a 5:30 kickoff at the Emirates for us. Bournemouth against Wolves is going to be your 3 o'clock kickoff. And you can join us at 2:45 for that one. But to start things off, we have got this absolute mouth-watering headliner. And we can't wait for it. So without further ado, then, let's not keep you waiting any longer. Let's get you through that team news and that match information. Manchester City are against Spurs at the Etihad. Here we go. So before we do anything else, let's talk you through who the match officials are for this Premier League weekend. Obviously, last night, it was Michael Oliver who took charge of the London Derby 5-1 win for Chelsea against West Ham. Today's referee is Peter Banks at the Etihad for this headliner. Thomas Bramall is at Bournemouth against Wolves later. Brentford against Aston Villa, you've got Tony Harrington. Burnley against Sunderland will be overseen by Michael Salisbury. It is Jared Gillett on duties for Arsenal against Leeds United. Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest will be overseen by Anthony Taylor. Stuart Atwell takes charge of Everton against Brighton. It's Chris Kavanagh at Fulham for the Man United visit. And Newcastle against Liverpool, overseen by Simon Hooper. That is the second big game in a row for Simon Hooper. So yes, folks, West Ham battered again. They are on a -7 goal difference. That is a worse goal difference, folks, than any other side in the last couple of years after 2 games. They have conceded 8 goals in the last 2 games, West Ham scoring 1, a -7. It is just looking woeful for them. And the league table will show it. Rock bottom, -7 goal difference. Not good for the Hammers. But for both of these two sides, with Chelsea getting those 3 points, they currently top the table on 4 points. Manchester City or Spurs, though, with just a singular point, can go level on points with Chelsea, but by goal difference, they would not move above them. So they would need all 3 points to take top of the Premier League table. For Arsenal later, massive opportunity for us to go top of the Premier League table with all 3 points against Leeds United. That would be a possibility. We just need to make sure that we score 3 or 4 goals, get ourselves nice and high on goal difference, and surely top spot will be ours for this weekend. So yes, just a reminder of what's happened for both of these two sides. A 4-0 away win for Manchester City at Wolves in game week 1, and a 3-0 victory at home to Burnley for Spurs. Into the team news then, James Trafford remains the goalkeeper of choice. There is Edison back available, but on the bench today. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Ryan Aït-Nouri, Ruben Diaz, the captain, John Stones and Rico Lewis. Plays behind a midfield, which is split into 2 parts, seeing a defensive 2 of Nico Gonzalez and Tijani Reinders. Playing behind an attacking 3 of Omar Mamouche, Oscar Bob and Ryan Cherky. But leading the front by himself, lone striker of Erling Haaland. On the bench for Manchester City's Nathan Ake, Jeremy Doku. Rodri is available, Bernardo Silva, Mateus Nunes, Edison back fit. Only available on the bench, as to Rodri, of course. Abdou Kadir, Kusanov, and Phil Foden. And then Guglielmo Vicario is in goal for Spurs. A back 4 is Pedro Porro. Christian Romero, the new Spurs captain. Permanent fixture, should I say, as well. Mickey van der Ven and Jed Spence playing behind an attacking 3. Of recent signing from Fulham, João Palhinha, alongside Pape Sarr and Rodrigo Bentancur. The front 3 is Mohamed Kudus, signed from West Ham, Richarlison and Brennan Johnson. On the bench for Spurs is Kevin Danso, Matthias Tell, Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Luka Vuskovic, Dominic Solanke, Wilson Odobert, Anthony Kinski and Ben Davis. Well, what a fixture. What a showdown we have got for you guys. Will City be haunted by Spurs again? You just never know with this City team at the minute. And in the last 2 seasons, it's just 1 win in, I think, 4 for Manchester City against Spurs. Spurs were beaten once by Manchester City last season. It was a strange 1-0 victory for Manchester City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But at the Etihad, Spurs absolutely destroyed City with a 4-0 victory. So a very exciting fixture. So will City, with their new signings, Tijani Reinders did look very positive against Wolves. There's no line about that. Real menace in midfield. Will those new signings be able to cope with Spurs? Because it just seems as though that most of the time, that some of the best players in the world playing for City can't cope with Spurs. And there's the last 4 games. So a 3-2 win for Spurs, of course, and then a 4-2 victory for City. But since that 4-2 defeat for Spurs, there was a 3-3 draw, but that latest result being a 4-0 victory. Right, folks, it's time to get the better slips out as the teams are getting ready to kick off. So here we go. The Ladbrokes 1-2-3 is live and in play. Arsenal to win 3-0. Brighton to win by 2 goals still against Everton. And a Manchester United draw against Fulham at Craven Cottage, 1-1. All 3 correct scores on that slip will equal a £100 win, free of charge. 2 correct scores is a £5 free bet. 1 correct score is a £1 free bet. We've got our ACCA insurance as well, which is Bournemouth, Villa, Sunderland, Arsenal, and Napoli all to win. If all 5 of those teams win, then I will get £11.26 off this slip. Of course, there is insurance on it, which means I can get 1 wrong, but all the rest correct, and that will give me a free bet. We've then got a bet builder for this one. Manchester City against Spurs, over 1.5 goals, over 8.5 corners, and a double chance for either a draw or a Spurs win. Maximum returns of £3.75. We've then got a price boost, a bet builder pre-built. Bournemouth to win, both teams to score, and over 10.5 corners. The maximum return is £3.38 on that one for a 50p stake. We've then got a price boost for Victor Gyökeres to be the first goal scorer against Leeds United. That will return £2.05 from a 50p stake. And to finish off, a bet builder for our game as well. Arsenal to win, over 1.5 goals, over 7.5 corners, and both teams to score, no. Maximum returns £3.40 from a £1 stake on that one. So plenty of bets, plenty of juicy football on this Saturday. So 2 minutes to go till kickoff. It's going to be one heck of a game. We have to say it. It's going to be a really, just an absolute heck of a game. So yeah, Tijani Reinders, one of the ones to look out for. Spurs are in their black kit today, a full black kit. Interesting kit choice. Could it be black for the death of City? We'll have to wait and see. But fair warning, Spurs did win 4-0 last time this fixture took place at the Etihad. So plenty to consider. And it is Peter Banks who took charge of Arsenal against Manchester City last season. Not one of the biggest referees in English football, but one that most certainly can do these big fixtures. And it's going to be an interesting one, actually. You, of course, you're a bit surprised that there's not going to be an Anthony Taylor or a Michael Oliver here, but the PGMOL appear to be going in a direction where the big names don't need to be on the headline fixtures. They're trying to get the referees like Peter Banks. I mean, you're looking at Simon Hooper. He's got 2 big 6 clashes in 2 weeks. So it appears the PGMOL are going in a direction where a Peter Banks or a Simon Hooper is going to do these big games, these headline games. And it is refreshing because we all know that if Michael Oliver was here today, a lot of people would be unhappy because of the bias. So, will the Spurs bogey continue against Manchester City? Or will City get over it and find a rare victory against Tottenham Hotspur FC? We'll find out because we're about to kick off. We're off. And yes, this fixture was one of the most entertaining fixtures I think I'd ever seen, really, in a 5:30 kickoff on a Saturday last season. It was so good. It was just, it is one of those where you just look out for it, really. The only downside to it is the fact it's not later in the day, really, because this fixture does tend to be better under the dark, I think, really. So Cherky to Rico Lewis. John Stones, the man who, of course, at the Etihad in the 3rd game week of last season, when Arsenal paid a visit to Manchester City, scored a very controversial equaliser, which not only was there a foul on he was offside, and also, I'm still saying that Erling Haaland violent conducted against Gabriel by throwing the ball directly at his face with aggressive force. But our visit to the Etihad is not until later in the season. Manchester City will visit the Emirates first, I think, this season, But it is a little bit of one of those weekends where I can kind of sit back and breathe a little bit, just chill out, because obviously last weekend we had Man United away. Next weekend, we've got Liverpool away. But we're at home. We've got Leeds. It's a fairly comfortable one this weekend. So I'm kind of just sitting back and I'm just soaking in the big fixtures around me with that kind of relaxation that Arsenal are not in a big fixture this week. Because it's never easy, starting, against, let's say, Man United at Old Trafford when you're at Arsenal on opening weekend. or a Liverpool at Anfield on third game week. Clarky, welcome into how you doing, Clarky? Good to see you in here. And welcome aboard. So yes, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy Leeds. I think I'll just breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief this weekend, because next weekend I'm going to be I'll have no nails left next Sunday. I promise you. I'll have no nails left, honestly, people. I swear to you, I won't have nails left. Particularly if we put on a bad performance like we did at Old Trafford. Bloody hell. But the one thing I'm going to say is watch Liverpool on Monday. Like, watch them on Monday, because how poor were they defensively last Friday? Arne Slot's changed the style. Watch them. Because they seem quite frail defensively at the minute. That's the only saving grace that I've got, really, is the fact that they do look a little bit frail defensively, Liverpool, at the minute. You look very weak You look very weak defensively, though. Like, you say you'll be fine, but you do look really weak defensively. You're not, because Palace have said they're not selling him. So money doesn't talk, because no matter how much money you offer to Newcastle, they ain't going to sell Isak. Do you know what? People will say it's biased that I don't want Isak going to Liverpool, but actually, I'm glad that Newcastle are not selling him, because you can't just go and treat a club like that. You're in contract, so if you're going on strike, you can rot on the bench. I think Newcastle are doing the right thing by not selling him. He can't buy out. He can't. He's got to sit out his contract. He can't just buy out his contract. Newcastle have got control of him until his contract's up, and I believe he's got another 2-3 years on his Newcastle contract. So technically, Newcastle can end his career if he does not play. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't mean there is, but I mean, if there was, that's not right for me. The player should not be in control of whether or not they can buy themselves out of a contract. Because you've signed that contract, you should be stuck in it unless you are sold. But no, technically speaking, Newcastle can end his career. Because if he has got 3 years left on his contract and he refuses to play, then that's it. 3 years without playing, he's done. Spurs free kick here. Porro scored last season against City here. And straight into the wall, but has another go and rattles the side netting from Pedro Porro, who was the second strike is brilliant. Porro under pressure from Marmoush, and Marmoush snuck in behind, and it goes right across the face of goal. Bit of a defensive mix-up. I mean, Vicario leaves the goal gaping and open. Yeah, he wouldn't be. Yeah, but that'd bankrupt him, surely, wouldn't it? Because how much money is he on a week? And how many years has he got left on his contract? That's going to be what? That's going to be millions. And to fund another player, well, if Newcastle are valuing him at 150 million, then that's how much he should have to pay for a new player. It'll bankrupt him, surely. Because that should be the way it works. If that's how it works and he has to fund the replacement, then Newcastle should be saying, right, if you want to buy out your contract, you have to give us 150 million for a new player. It's just a mess. I mean, personally, for me, he should be staying at Newcastle. End of story. A player does not have the right to strike. I mean, okay, Gyökeres did to get to us, but yeah, no, he's too big for his boots, Isak. I'm sorry, but I mean, he was a player of the unknown until he went to Newcastle for a start. Unfortunately, Relva 11, I cannot provide you with the coverage of the game on here due to copyright reasons, but one of my fellow Twitch chatters might be able to provide you with a link to view the game, but you can watch it on TNT Sports 1HD or TNT Sports Ultimate in the UK. Yeah, but but Newcastle can reject the bid though. Even if you bid over the valuation, Newcastle could still reject. If Newcastle don't want to sell, Newcastle don't want to sell. I don't know. Dragon, can you provide him a link for this? Perhaps, maybe. I don't know. What country are you in, pal? Remember Romania. I don't know. Romania. Yeah, well, for a start, I don't even know if the streaming sites we use will work in Romania. Second of all, I don't think anybody in this channel, YouTube or Twitch, has any idea about Romanian TV. The naughty way of doing it. First 15 minutes, not too much happening, but Spurs have had more of the chances. And it was a great ball, but Pape Sarr was well offside and didn't go for it anyway. Yeah, but again, I honestly would just make him sit there. And I know that that's the best option, but I think the fans would get more satisfaction out of him just sitting there and rotting. I mean, I think every Newcastle fan would want him to pay for what he's done by striking, and he's disrespected the club. So for me, why should Isak get his way? Because Newcastle have the right to make him sit on that bench and not move for 3 years if they want to, because he's still in a contract. But yeah, but the fans will argue that Isak's getting his way, when yet he's disrespected the club. And it's true. What it sounds like to me, he's been very disrespectful to Newcastle. Very disrespectful. I mean, that would not go down well at Arsenal. I don't think it went down too well with Sporting with Victor Gyökeres. Just cause the guy's got no reason to leave. Newcastle are on the same level as Liverpool under all aspects. The exact same competitions. They won a trophy last season. They won the Carabao Cup last season. They're in the Champions League this season. They're playing exactly the same things as Liverpool. And he's at the richest club in the world as well. It's stupidity. There's no reason for him. There isn't an arguable reason for him to want to leave. There is no benefit for him joining Liverpool, because the exact same things happen. He'll get the exact same wage bill probably, because let's face it, Liverpool aren't a rich club. They're in the exact same competitions as each other. Premier League, Champions League. It's all the same. And the Court of Arbitration will say no, because there's no justifiable reason for him to leave Newcastle. Because the player's getting paid well. He gets he gets lots of game time. He's won a major trophy last season with them. He's playing Champions League football. Oh, we get it all the time, mate. Yeah, it only happens about once or twice a stream. Here's Tajani Reinders in midfield with energy. There's bigger fish to fry, and at the end of the day, if let's say Liverpool don't win a trophy this season, then he could do the exact same thing to you guys, because now he's got a track record for being disrespectful to clubs. So for me, mate, there's bigger fish to fry. I've got I've got nobody. I've got nobody. But yeah, no, the debate will continue everywhere. But my view is Isak should not be allowed to leave Newcastle. The Court of Arbitration should not approve him to leave and pay out his contract. He should be forced to sit there, because for me, you don't get to disrespect a club like that. Now, the differences with Gyökeres is Sporting Lisbon were willing to sell. And yes, Gyökeres went on strike to get the move done quicker. However, Sporting Lisbon allowed the sale. Sporting Lisbon were wanting to sell him, but they wanted the correct fee to be met. With Newcastle, they are not willing to sell. And that's the difference between Gyökeres and Isak with these sagas. And it's a total disrespect to Newcastle, the fans. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. But for me, absolutely not should Isak be allowed to leave. And there's not been too many touches for Haaland or... Yeah. There's a problem here for, I think, Ryan Aït-Nouri. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing is, I think Isak should learn his lesson. When you're not up for sale, don't go on strike. Because, like I said, the difference is Gyökeres, yeah, he went on strike, but Sporting Lisbon were willing to sell. Newcastle are not willing to sell. So, for me, Newcastle should, by every means, try and end his career. It's more than 100. I think it's like 165, isn't it? They want add-ons as well, don't they? 165. Because I've read from some places they want 165. And on top of that, what a shit agent you've got, mate. His agent must be shit. Because it's all just a mess. Okay. Brandon Johnson. Shut up. Is it? Yeah, email time, people. Email central now. Cherokee. Okay, challenge there. Sorry, 1 second, folks. I've just sending a message. It won't be a minute. Game needs a goal, I think. Here's Haaland, though. On his way. And run through the middle. Omar Mamouche. Brilliant save and block by Vicario. Made himself big. Good save. Free kick is going to be given here. City free kick. $15 minutes to go before half time. 0-0 the minute between these two. Final event, Jed Spence. It's a lovely switch to Kudus. Bentancur. And Jed Spence. Yeah, better deal. You're saving money. And let's face it, Rodrigo. I mean, yeah, he's not going to disrespect you, is he? He's a Brazilian lad. Brazilians ain't disrespectful like Isak. Yeah, no, get Rodrigo, mate. Seriously. Go get Rodrigo. Better value for money. There's no way that a Brazilian would do what Isak's doing. So, yeah. Because like I said, alarm bells will just ring in your head now. Anybody who signs him, anybody who has Isak will just think, right, we've got to be careful because he might do what he did to Newcastle to us. Yeah. 90 million euros, 100 million pounds. Go get Rodrigo, mate. Win-win. Win-win. And anyway, you've got Wirtz and Ekasike as well to go up front. And obviously Gakpo can even play a false nine, so... But yeah, I mean, it would be nice if he had Jota still, eh? Johnson's got himself booked here. Yep. Haaland picks up Tijani Reinders. Seems like one of those games where he might not get a goal, but there's a flick for Richarlison. He looks onside, and Johnson through the middle, and it's into the back of the net. But the flag's up. I think it's onside, you know. I don't see the infringement. It's a great bit of move from Spurs, though. It's a really quick move. It's incisional. It's cutting edge. It's cutting edge. This is going to stand. That's onside. Yeah, there's no infringement. It's onside. It's so obvious. You won't have a problem figuring that one out. It's a black shirt against a blue shirt for a start, so there's no trouble with colour. Yeah, no, for me, that's onside. The striker holds his run. Sorry, the player holds his run. Peter Banks has given the goal. It's a goal for Spurs. And yet again, Spurs cause City major problems. I predicted 2-1. I predicted 2-1. Of course, if you want to reflect on my Premier League predictions, just go onto my YouTube channel and you can find the latest video where all of my Premier League predictions lie. And just to remind you all that all Premier League predictions that I make are correct and corresponding to my Super 6 predictions and my Ladbrokes 1, 2, 3 predictions. And also, if you haven't already tried it out, get yourself on the William Hill app and get your selections in, because William Hill have got the new game called the Final One Standing, where each week you pick a team to win, and if they win, you cannot pick that team again, but you progress one step closer to potentially winning £500,000, and that's if you get through all 20 sides and you have no teams left. And that new game from William Hill is completely free of charge. So I would highly recommend you give it a go. How much did you put on it? 500 quid? Oh, it's bounced, and Kudus. Was he impeded by James Trafford? That's a foul. Peter Banks doesn't give anything. Well, I've got a bet builder worth £3.75 on this, over 8.5 corners, Tottenham to win or draw, and over 1.5 goals. Maximum returns of £3.75 off a £1 stake. Fairly good bet builder, that, actually. And I only put £3.50 on altogether today, so that would already put me in profit. Now, there is medics on the pitch. We've got the league phase draw. Thursday at 5 o'clock. So I'll give you some form of reaction to that, potentially. And don't forget, our new show is coming out on Wednesday or Tuesday, one of the two. We've got the new show called The Real Roundup, which is where we round up all of my predictions and the Premier League weekends and other football subjects as well. So that's going to be every Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday after a Premier League match round. The Real Roundup, a new show, will be out this coming Wednesday. And we will sometimes have guests on that, as well as Premier League predictions, where we're having guests on as well. So yes, we will be recording that Real Roundup video on Tuesday, I think, after Newcastle have played Liverpool. I've not got a guest lined up for game week 2, but I'm going to have, I think, Flicks on or somebody like that for Liverpool against Arsenal week, so match week 3. Jed Spence. It most certainly hasn't been the same kind of game as it was last season, but there's most certainly signs that Spurs are just that better. I mean, there's a lot of bouncing the ball, and Richarlison, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Richarlison. Pape Sarr on that left-hand side does get picked off back there by Cherky. And Pape Sarr has done brilliantly to win it back. Spence, it'll be a Spurs front. And defender, it's going to go back to Trafford there. And then on to Jed Spence. Palini's cross is cut out by Diaz. And Sarr has picked off Cherky, who lost out. And Palini has won a corner. Deflection has taken it behind for a corner. And we're expecting 6 minutes of added time at the end of the half here. I'm just going to wait for the number. That's the room I've just had. In fact, it's 7. It's 7. A lot of added time, blimey. But there has been a few stoppages. So Kudus to take the Tottenham corner from the right. Yeah, City, just like Man United, aren't that good at defending corners. Oh, mistake at the back, and Richarlison's gone round Trafford, has he? Doesn't matter, but it's fired in, and it's João Palini with his first goal for Spurs, and it's 2-0 before the break. Yeah, I told you all, people. Don't judge Manchester City off a game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. A lot of people were saying to me, oh, City looks so good. Oh, City looks so threatening. Yeah, that's because they were playing Wolves. Tottenham, the side that City cannot function against, are doing it again. And it's a mess for Manchester City. Absolute mess at the back. Richarlison does everything he can to try and get around Trafford and put the ball into the back of the net. He just loses out. He's got his teammate there, Palini, though. He's ready to strike the ball and put it into the back of the net. It's excellent forward play by both Richarlison and Palini. And that's what I mean. Too many people were judging City off the Wolves game last week. You can't judge a side like City, who've had a very bad season last season, off their first game of the season against Wolves away. You just can't judge them on that. It's not the way football works. Wolves gave up. It wasn't a case of City overpowered Wolves with quality. Wolves gave up. Wolves opened their arms up and just said, here you go, City, batter us, please. We give up. Because that's what Wolves do. changed about City. Of course, Tijani Reinders is going to have an excellent game against Wolves. Of course he is. But here, Oscar Bob, it's well defended by Spence, you know. And I tell you what, considering they've not got Son, I think Richarlison has stepped up, you know. You know, Richarlison, he was a bit of a kind of mediocre player at Spurs since he first joined, but now Son's left, it feels like Richarlison's stepped up a bit, if you know what I mean. When you look at him now, he looks like a kind of a captain type figure, really. Just the way that he's leading the line now. He looks like a much more leader player because Son's left, if you know what I mean. And let's not forget, this is a side for Spurs without James Maddison, who's injured, who absolutely tore this side apart last season here. I mean, Maddison was a menace in that first half in the 4-0 victory. Headed away by Romero, yeah. Oscar Bob away from Romero, goes down. It's a corner, and if we get a replay, we're not going to. Yeah, there's nothing in it. I didn't think there was. Oh, hung right by Cherky, and it was Haaland. Honestly, because it's so close, you just think, wow, yeah, it's going to go in. Great cross. How is Haaland not burying that? Well, City in trouble against Spurs again. A constant problem for Pep Guardiola, it seems. At the minute, it's at the Etihad as well, which is a real concern for Pep Guardiola, because the problem wasn't really there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But the last couple of seasons at the Etihad, City have just been absolutely useless against Spurs. Spurs must have this as their favourite ground. I mean, too easy for them. 2-0. That's the worry for Pep Guardiola as well. It's at home where they're struggling against Spurs at the minute. I mean, for so long, Spurs held that record where City had never scored a goal at their stadium, let alone anything else. But now, City are struggling at home to Spurs more than away. Yep, it doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me, Kate and Jonathan. It's just obvious to me that Spurs would come here and get a win. And I know it's only half time, but City look useless. In fact, no, that's not even the right word. Just City look crestfallen, as per usual. Yeah, that's completely ridiculous as well. What on earth is going on? Like, I don't know the whole story, but why? Like, I don't know who's at fault, but why the hell is that happening? The best manager that Forest will have in a long time. I promise you, they won't get anybody better than Nuno. Not at the minute. So why on earth is Nuno falling out with Marinakis? He is a top coach, and we need to. I mean, what it is with Nuno is he had a bad spell at Tottenham. He was appointed as Tottenham manager. Didn't go well for him. But he is great at bringing clubs like Wolves and like Spurs and like Forest to life. I just don't understand why he's falling out, honestly. I mean, I get it from Nuno's point of view. Marinakis is a very suppressive owner. He's very, very on top of the club. He's there. He's a constant presence. Well, if it's about signings, then sack the sporting director, Edu. Edu Gaspar was crap for us, and I'm only realising that now because Andrea Berta comes in, best striker in the world pops up. Oh, hang on a minute, signing, loads. Edu's shit. So if there's anybody that Marinakis should be sacking, it's Edu, not Nuno. And as well as that, what else have we got in here? The only wasn't where you went. In my opinion, Forest overachieved for a lot of last season. They got some historical victories, some fantastic victories. They played amazing football. And okay, at the end, they didn't quite finish in that Champions League spot. But unfortunately, the Premier League is a tough league. And they were out of energy. I'm not having it. If Nuno gets sacked, that is totally wrong. Like, let's just realise for a minute how much Forest have transformed in the past couple of years. It all started with Steve Cooper. He took over a couple of seasons ago, bottom of the league, the very bottom of the championship, right? He carried them all the way up to the championship, all the way up to the Premier League, into those playoffs. They won the playoffs into the Premier League. 2 seasons. It wasn't quite going well second season for Cooper. They appointed Nuno, and Nuno has had them in and amongst the title race, because Nottingham Forest, for a lot of last season, were in third. So for Marinakis to go and say that they've not finished higher enough is totally unacceptable for me. Forest massively overachieved. Absolutely. Nuno Espirito Santo is a great manager. Honestly, that sickens me. And I love Nottingham Forest. I think they're a fantastic club. It's a really, really well-spirited club. It's a very historic stadium. It's just... And if Nuno goes, that is just ridiculous. That place was bouncing last season. Absolutely bouncing. I'd been in there when it was bouncing. Like, Nuno and Marinakis as a combination got that place back bouncing and back to its best. You know what I mean? Forest were a side actually in and amongst the top 4. Nottingham Forest, for what, 3/4 to half, between half and 3/4 of last season, were within the same mix as Arsenal and Liverpool. That's massive. Yeah. You've managed to keep Morgan Gibbs-White. Honestly, if he does, honestly, if they do sack him, yeah, Dragon's right. Just Forest fans, go and protest. Because I'm telling you right now, they will not get a better manager in the next couple of years until than Nuno. It won't happen. They will not get a better manager than Nuno. And the understanding of the players and the fans from Nuno. You know what I mean? Nuno has done everything right at Forest, really. He's been collaborating with the owner. He's done everything that the owner's asked. He's done amazing things with the club, absolute wonders. And that's the treatment he's getting. Yeah, down on it. Yeah. Loads. Angus good. Yeah, Amari Hutchinson. So why is honestly, it's not even worth getting into. I mean, Marinakis has got great. He cares about the community, right? That is what Marinakis wants to do. Marinakis cares about the club and the city of Nottingham. But what he doesn't care about, clearly, is the staff that work for him. I mean, the guy had the gall to ban Gary Neville and cause absolute chaos for Sky on the final day of last season. And I know that Gary Neville's not said the right things about Forest and it might have upset him. But that really caused Sky problems. I don't think he realised just how big of a problem that was for Sky. Because Sky were planning to front their coverage at the City Ground, you know what I mean, and have a full studio and everything, and then have Kelly Cates with Carragher and Sturridge at Anfield. Yeah. Marinakis is... I know it's his club, but Marinakis is way too big for his boots at the minute. Like, he needs to just calm down a bit. Because, yes, Forest are a very big club. Forest have a massive history. And he wants them competing at the top level. I understand that. But you were competing at the top level. The problem is you just ran out of energy. You ran out of that final energy to get to that final hurdle. But that's understandable because you overachieved last season. Nobody called it. Like, that's football, mate. It's actually a really... I tell you what, you might not like this or you might like this, but actually, I would actually say, if the Kroenkes could sell Arsenal, then actually, the Kroenkes would be great. I mean, I think the Kroenkes would be all right for you guys, you know. I actually do believe the Kroenkes would be all right. It's a bit of a big call, you know what I mean, for saying that our owners should sell up and buy Forest, but I think that it'll be the right culture put into the club, you know what I mean. It won't be all your money. You'll get funded by the NBA and the NFL because that's where our money comes from. I mean, the Cronkies literally own the NBA and one of the NBA teams, so we make a fortune out of that. You've got to think about it carefully, really, to be fair, because you don't want to fall into those multi-club ownership. Because Crystal Palace, for crying out loud, have had loads of problems with multi-club ownership, as we will all be aware. So you don't want to get into that. You don't want to have problems with multi-club ownership. But then that turns a historic club into an oil club. That is the wrong thing, really, because it would wreck. I mean, you've got a great history. However, if you get oil money in, then that turns it dampens your history a bit. Because you're relying on money from a country which does the wrong things to make money, really. I just think it's the... Yeah, I'm hoping that they can resolve that, because there's no way that Nuno deserves to be sacked. Just hearing from Thomas Frank in the Etihad tunnel at half time at the minute. We will have the second half underway very momentarily. So Spurs 2-0 up. Can they continue on to get another win against Manchester City? Spurs are one of the real bogeys for Manchester City. Can they get another Etihad Stadium? It would be the first time in Tottenham Hotspur's history, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that they would have 2 straight victories at the Etihad Stadium. So we're just about to get underway. It's just, yeah. So many people were judging you guys. Well, if you are a City fan, I don't know, but too many people get blindsided by performances that look good against teams that give up. And I'll tell you right now, Wolves are nowhere near as bad as West Ham, but Wolves are definitely on the worst side in the Premier League when it comes to spirit and giving up. They are so bad for just giving up in matches, Wolves. And that's exactly what happened last weekend. That's why City looked so good. Don't get blindsided into thinking that was a great City performance, because it wasn't. There was a lot of holes in it. Wolves just completely gave up, is what happened in that game. And once again, yet another occasion where I'm getting proved right this season. And believe you me, I've got a lot of predictions right so far in the first couple of weeks. I mean, West Ham already look set to be relegated. They look so shit. It's Jed Spence for Tottenham. Richarlison's down, but he's got back up just as we speak. They've not got that much money, though. I mean, they've got money, but I would say Liverpool fall into the bracket of quite a poor club, actually. I mean, they've not got that much money. I mean, Liverpool's bank balance is a lot lower than the Cronkies. Let me just say that right now. The Cronkies have got probably triple the amount of money the FSG have got. What do the FSG actually have other than Liverpool is what I want to know. Because the Cronkies are fully funded. It's a nice cycle, actually, because what happens is that basically the NBA and the NFL are all a part of the Cronkies little scheme. They get investment, but all the money that they make is sucked back into this pot, and Arsenal, I think, get 80% of that pot, and then 20% is shared between the NFL and NBA clubs. That's how our little system works. We've got one giant pot with about 3 or 4 tubes, and like I said, about 80% of the money in that pot goes to us. And it's about 20%, 25% that's shared between the NBA and the NFL clubs. But what do FSG have? Because that's the way that we have so much money, but yet aren't an oil club. We suck money out of American sport and take it for ourselves, is what we do. And why do you think we do that? Because, oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, it doesn't cost that much money to have an NBA or an NFL club. You would think it does. But believe you, do you know how much a basketball pitch costs? Probably about 100 grand, if that. Because it's literally just an indoor arena with a bit of hard floor. The NFL will cost more money, obviously, because it's a pitch and it's a proper stadium. You know what I mean? I think they've got Lincoln Financial Field, actually, is owned by Cronkies. But yeah, you ask me. Well, if you ask the fans of those NBA, well, I don't know which club. I think one of the clubs that the Cronkies own is Rhinos. Whether that's NBA or NFL, I don't know. But if you ask a Rhinos fan, they'll say, "Well, look, you know what I mean? We're a great team. We're a great club. We are happy. However, we don't get that much money." You ask a Rhinos fan in America, they'll say, "Look, I wish that the Cronkies didn't own Arsenal." Why? Because Arsenal take about 80% of the money. And I know it doesn't look like the Cronkies are there, but they are. Josh now is pretty... I mean, you've got Josh and Stan, father and son. Josh is pretty much always around now. And if you go on to, if you do some proper deep research on the Cronkies, you'll notice that they've got, I think it's Cronky Enterprises, something like that, or Cronky Sports Group. That's what that pot is that I'm talking about. Cronky Sports Group is just this one massive bowl of money, which with pipes leading to different teams in different parts of the world. No. So yeah, in the context of Cronky versus FSG, well, the Cronky's pulling a lot more money than FSG do. And they do it the right way as well. I mean, for crying out loud, at least our money, I mean, you would think we are an oil club because we are very rich. We're filthy rich. But not one bit of our money comes from oil. It's all out. Like I said, all of our money is sucked away from American sport and taken into English sport. And the Cronkies, quite frankly, can do that because cash and all that a lot and financial fair play does not apply in America. Oh, chance. Cherky up. So yeah, we'll end the ownership story there because I mean we've talked about we have talked a lot about owners and managers and all that a lot, but oh, it's him flicked on and Richarlison was there. That would have been game over if Richarlison gets that in the back of the net. Tell you right now, that's game over. 3-0 is game over here. City changes, Bernardo Silva and Jeremy Doku coming on. So Ryan Cherky and Omar Marouge go off. Jeremy Doku and Bernardo Silva on the pitch for Manchester City. Doku nudged off the ball by Porro. Well, I'm looking forward to wearing the new Arsenal kit later. Yeah, new Arsenal home kit. I think throughout these first 3 game weeks, we're going to be showcasing all 3 kits, really. I mean, I suspect we'll wear the blue one at Anfield. That white one, though, was clean, man. Wow. This webcam, unfortunately, does not do that kit justice because it's so white. But yeah, really nice kit that I wore on Sunday. Just them little engravings on the shirt. It had Highbury engravings, but because the shirt was white, you couldn't see it. Yeah, they're getting relegated, mate. Don't worry about West Ham. They're going down. Sorry to break your hearts, West Ham fans, but here you go. There you go. I'm saving that for April, mate. Don't worry about that. I'm saving that for April. Even March, perhaps, if we're lucky. They're going to break Derby's record, West Ham are. Why do you hope we beat Leeds? Just out of curiosity, Ryan. I would like to know that insight. I mean, look, there is no real hatred between Arsenal and Chelsea. I mean, we are London rivals, and we definitely don't like each other when we play. But I want to know that insight. How sweet of you. I don't think anybody has ever said that they want London rival. Well, yeah, no, that's nice of you, mate, to be fair. And yes, I'm sure I'll be smiling later when we beat Leeds 3-0. Gyökeres gets a hat-trick. And I know what people are saying as well right now as well. Because people, if you haven't already seen the thumbnail on YouTube, I am aware. Okay? I am aware. There is no Gyökeres on the thumbnail. There is a reason for it. I have tried and I've tried and I've tried, but there is no renders yet of Gyökeres in an Arsenal shirt. That is why Declan Rice is on the thumbnail. It's not the fact that, yeah, there is a, like I said, I am trying to find a render for him, but yet there isn't any. He's not. Sesko will be the flop. Oh, Richarlison. Ball through. Heavy touch by Johnson, though. Pape Sarr. Kudus. It's bodied by Ake. Ah. We'll see. Because technically speaking, this guy is the best striker in the world right now. I mean, he scored, what was it, 67, 69 goals in, what, 60 games, so a daft like that. You mean the guy whose career is over? The guy who literally might not get out of Newcastle and will have to sit on the bench for 3 years? Yeah, right. Do me a favour. Oh, he sent me a tweet, says Dragon Breath. Let's have a look at the tweet. In goes the free kick. Richarlison onto the roof of the net. Let's have a look at this tweet anyway that has been sent to me. Biggest flop. Benjamin Sesko will be the biggest flop, mate. Not Gyökeres. What's this? Utilita football. Okay. Manager of the week from Utilita. Reggie Labrie. Sunderland manager. Fair enough. I mean, Sunderland do look breathtaking at the minute. Wow. Sunderland do look really good at the minute. Really, really good. Not just good, really good. But yeah, I say I've been quite harsh actually predictions wise this season. I mean, I've not really. I don't see Sunderland or Leeds going down, and I'm not too sure about Burnley either. I mean, my bottom three was West Ham, Brentford, Burnley, and yes, there is a reason why I've chucked Brentford in there, and it's down to the fact that they've lost Thomas Frank and key players. Yeah, for me, yeah, definitely not Everton. I don't think Leeds will go down. I don't see Leeds dropping. True, I don't. And Everton will never drop under. They won't drop under David Moyes. There's no way. It just won't happen. Not under David Moyes. It won't with Everton. Until David Moyes goes, Everton ain't going down. It's as simple as that. Yeah, Tottenham look comfortable here. Well, my top three is Arsenal, Man United, Man City. My top five is Newcastle, Liverpool. My bottom five is going to be Leeds and Wolves. My bottom three, though, like I said, my bottom three is Burnley, West Ham, Brentford. And for me, West Ham is odds on guaranteed relegation. I am very adamant on West Ham going down. Cut me a break. Arsenal fifth? You mad? We're in the top two, mate. Kudus. Oh, offside, Brennan Johnson. That's why. Yeah, the thing is, Chelsea will not be top 3. That's the stupid part about it. You've put Chelsea top 3, and I know that Chelsea got a good win yesterday, but it was West Ham. Oh, that one. Sorry. Villa, definitely not Villa. Definitely not Villa. No. Definitely not Villa. And I wouldn't say Spurs either. I mean, don't get me wrong, Spurs looking good again, but 1.2 million. What do you stick on that? 100 quid? I might stick a tenner on my bottom 3 actually. Dragon Breath, do me an odds check, please. And I bought do me a Ladbrokes odds check on a West Ham, Burnley, Brentford bottom 3. Can you do me an odds check on that, please, for Ladbrokes? Like, what's a £5 returning or what's a £10 returning? Oh. What do you mean, when can you figure out how? Do you not know? I would have thought you knew how to do an odds check. So I'll try and do it on the William Hill app, actually. Not that I bet with William Hill, but I'll have a look on William Hill's app because it's the easiest betting app to use. Not on app, no, I don't. Ladbrokes are good in store. Ladbrokes are good in store. That's what's good about Ladbrokes. There's just been a flare-up, by the way, and believe it or not, Christian Romero, the Peacemaker. I've actually got a free bet on with Paddy Power. That's who I've got a free bet on with. They gave me a £1 free bet builder today. It's a 5-leg. Bet builder. Not bad. Is that all against Newcastle? Blimey. Shocking odds, that. Come on, Spurs. I want more goals. City ain't doing shit. Come on, Spurs. Get another goal. Come on, maul them. 4-0, 5-0. That's what I want to see. I think Spurs have won this game, to be fair. I don't see City getting anywhere. We want more goals. We want more goals. Sar's made the run, nearly caught Trafford out. Doku was a tackle by Brennan Johnson. Not Doku, by the way. Sorry, Kudus. Getting them two mixed up. It's going to be pulled back. Yeah, it's a foul by Bob. It is. Bob's just gone absolutely mad at the assistant. But Peter Banks has got that spot on. It was a foul by Oscar Bob. End of story. Brennan Johnson gets ahead of him. Slight tuck on the shirt. Knocks him off balance. Free kick all day long. Why is Oscar Bob complaining? Yeah, Peter Banks has got that right. Phil Foden, yeah, he's washed. Phil Foden. I'm sorry, guys, but Phil Foden is washed and done. Rodri, never be the same player again after that ACL injury. Yeah, sounds about right to me, that. Quite low odds, yeah, on Newcastle winning. Yeah, well, sorry, quite high odds. And that'll be because, I tell you why that'll be. The odds will be so high for Newcastle because your defence is so weak. And the XG, it was surprising because it was such a bad game, but Newcastle's XG was 3.5 against Villa, believe it or not. They had a 3.5 XG. They were talking about it on Monday Night Football after a free header. Instant impact from Rodri nearly. Oh, what a ball for Richarlison to chase. Trafford heads it out for a throw-in. Here come the Spurs changes. Wilson Odeber and Dominic Solanke getting ready to come on. And Brennan Johnson, who got the first goal, is coming off. And it's two players that have lit up this game for Spurs coming off. Both of them combined, Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, both excellent performers. Yeah, so Solanke and Odeberg coming on, yeah. Never going to happen, though, is it? Yeah, but who would play? Who in their wildest dreams would do that? City have been shit. I mean, if anybody was to place that bet, you're just throwing money away. Oh, but I've not even kept check of this, by the way. Over Doku's twisting and turning. Foden, great challenge from Van der Ven. Kudus. Let me just check my corner counts. I've not been keeping an eye on the bet builder, but actually I think I've got a winning bet builder here. It's a good one as well. £1 returning £3.75. Odds are 11-4. Free leg bet builder, £3.75 back, 11-4 odds. Double chance Spurs or draw. Over 1.5 goals and over 8.5 corners. And we are 6. We need 3 more. It's a long throw in. What a touch from Porro. I need 3 more corners. And that's a great bet builder. That's a great bet builder win, really. That's a good bet builder. Good value. Porro's been booked. Oh, yeah, not specific teams, by the way, either the corners. It's just over 8.5 corners shared between the two sides. Spurs have only had 1, believe it or not. Oliver, burst of pace. And it's a throw-in. Across his dugout. I called it, Flicks. I called it. I told you Spurs would win. I told you. I told you. I told you, lad. I just told you that Spurs City would lose. I'm having a field season so far with predictions. Doku and Ake's cross. Will it go for a corner? No. I do want corners. I've just come into my senses because we've been talking about bets all day. But I've only just come to my senses about my bet builder. I need 3 more corners on it. The bloody other day. I mean, for me, Spurs have got this in the bag. So for me, now it's just a case of get them corners on now. I still can't get over how good that 4-0 was last season. It was ridiculous. It was amazing. That was an amazing game. This time around, Spurs have just looked totally the better side, dominant. They don't look a mess either. They look good. Yeah, really good. Doubling up. Porro and Odegaard. Jordan Hyman, welcome into you. Doing good to see you. Welcome aboard. Deflection here, yeah. I'm pegging down on them corners now. Hoping we can get them. We get just a nice flurry. I only need 3. I only need 3. Just 3. No more than 3. Only 3. I was surprised when I saw it was only 6, because it felt like City had loads. Doku, that will be 1. Blocked by Porro, deflection, making sure that it's a corner before I put it into paper. Yep. So we're on 7. 2 more. So yeah, basically we need 9. Over 8.5, we need 9. We need 9 in total. Lucas Bergval's coming on for Kudus. For Spurs. Yeah, it's good defending. Porro's off to Johnny Reinders in pursuit of him. Lovely ball round the side to Bergval. Skips away from Rico Lewis. And it's a great pullback. And Odegaard smashes it wide. 2 more. I'm going to just check Sofa score again to make sure that I've not missed anything. Yeah, no, we're on 7. We need 2 more. Haaland might get there, will he? Yes, he will. Kept in well by Erling Haaland. Bernardo Silva. Lewis on the edge of the box. Yeah, Romero, good tackle. Came down on him like a ton of bricks, but great tackle. Just deflect it out. Okay, clatters with 1. Yeah, it's a free kick. I don't want a free kick. I want a corner. Ah! This is a great bet builder, you know. This is a great bet builder if it comes through. Just want 2 more corners. It's only 3 legs, but it's paying £3.75 from £1. I'll take that. And we're almost there on it. Over 1.5 goals, Tottenham to win or draw, and over 8.5 corners is all we need. So yeah, just convert this for a corner if you can. Yeah, I'm just thinking about it now. And if I put over 7.5, that would have been £3.65. So it's only a 10p difference between 8 corners and 9 corners. It was a shocking delivery by Foden. Free kick to Tottenham. Yeah, they're off. City fans, I think they've seen enough. 90 seconds after the 90. It's been a great Spurs performance, to be fair. I kind of expected it to be a win for them and a pretty confident win, but the performance levels of the win as well have been great. They've done it in a more fashionable way against City. They've dominated City in this second half particularly. They've totally nullified them. Doku. Flinged wide to the right. Need a corner. It's going to be a throw-in. We're going to get, I think, only 4 minutes out of time at the end here. Just the 4. Spurs are going to bring on Kevin Danso on to replace João Palhinha. Player of the match, I think, is Richarlison. As we hit the 90, player of the match is Richarlison for me. You could pick any of them Spurs players because they've all worked as a team. And like I said, totally nullified City. Next up on Realltom Football, it is Bournemouth against Wolves at 3 o'clock today. Bournemouth against Wolves is what we've got next for you guys on Realltom Football. And you can join us for 2:45 if you want to watch. Bernardo Silva missed his kick there. And of course, later in the day, if you don't want to join us for the 3 p.m s, join us back at 5:15. Arsenal against Leeds United. Kickoff 5:30. Lucas Bergvall. Solanke, can they get the finishing touch to make it 3-0? Oh, great effort. What a save. And a header. We'll get a corner. Can we have two? Can I have two? Can I have two? Cherry on the cake, my winning bet builder. Can I please have two, Sir Spurs? We're on 8. One more will do the job. That's going in the back of the net, though. Good save, Trafford. Yeah, Spurs just want that cherry on the cake now, surely. 3-0 would be perfect. Job done. Well, one more. Romero, Doku, it's complete scramble back there. Spread wide beautifully to Porro. Beautiful. Lovely ball. To foul on Ake. Free kick. Doku, it's going to be the last move for City. Can we get one more late corner, perhaps, just to finish my little job off? Phil Foden. That will be a corner. Yeah, that's 9. I think I've done it. I'll just check SofaScore to get the confirmation of it. It was... Roger to Tijani Reinders. Final whistle goes. What a win for Spurs. A dominant, confident win for Spurs. Yes, we've got 9 corners. We've got a winning bet builder. Folks, I do need to jog off because next up, Bournemouth against Wolves. But Spurs, as you would expect, have beaten City at the Etihad. Final score, City 0, Spurs 2.